Hey, everybody, welcome to Driven Success. We have got a great episode ahead of us. We're going to talk about the Service Center program. So, David, I want to talk to you first, and I want everyone out there to hear this. So, my observation is this: when it comes to the Service Center program, I see it underutilized, but I want to tee it up with a story. The story is going to fit our theme for today, and it's about a man who emigrated to the United States from Europe. In the early days of immigrating to the US, the only way to get here was by ocean liner. Now, this guy worked hard. He saved his money and he finally had enough money to buy a one way ticket. To get ready for the journey, he filled his suitcase with cheese and crackers. That was going to be his food for this really long journey. It was all he could afford. And when the ship set sail, the mealtime came. Now, while the other passengers went into a large dining hall to eat their meal, guy went to his suitcase, took out his meager amount of cheese and crackers, and while he ate, he could smell, some great aromas. Steak, lobster. Now, if he was from Texas and where we are, some really great barbecue. Now, each meal, he huddled in the corner, ate his cheese and crackers. After the meal, he heard some of the passengers come out and talk about how full they were. This poor guy, he really wanted to join the others at the dining hall, but he had no extra money. Sometimes he'd lie in bed at night. He'd dream about Wendy's. He'd dream about Taco Bell. He'd dream about food. Toward the end of the trip, captain came up to him and said, "Sir, I can't help but notice that each time the meal was served, you'd go over to that corner and eat your cheese and crackers. Why don't you come to the banquet hall and eat with the other passengers?" The guy hung his head. He was really embarrassed, and he finally stammered out. He said, "Well, honestly, to tell you the truth, I only had enough money to buy the ticket. There's no money left over for the meals." The captain looked at him in surprise. He said, "Sir, you realize the meals were included in the price of this ticket?" Now, we're talking about service center programs and how does this relate? Well, I can speak firsthand. When I was a member of the Prana Smart Choice program, I had no idea how many elements were included. And looking back, I lament. I wish I'd only known what was paid for. So my question is to you, David, is this: how many members of any service center program, not just the Pronto Networks program, know what benefits they have? How much money do they leave on the table? And how can we help them today?
There's a lot going on there, Vic, and you kinda you have hit the nail on the head as far as, we talked recently about goals, and one of my goals for this year is to spend a lot more time, and it all boils down to communication,
Mhm,
which can boil down to education,
mhm.
and really, we've got to do a lot better job of being a business partner with
Right.
our service centers. So, to answer a couple of your questions, do I hear that? And do I hear sometimes at service centers, "Oh, they had that aha moment. Oh, I didn't know," or "When did that take place? And how long have you
Mhm,
had that in a program?"
mhm,
So, we've got a lot of work to do on our side. I'd mentioned before, one of the things I need to do, and we are like spit and image close on getting this done,
mhm,
is to have a, training program specifically for our salespeople.
mhm,
There's a lot going on. I mean, there is a ton that goes on in a service center program, whether it's mine or you're right, the competition. And what I find out every single time when a service center has either been on my program or somebody else's, and they just kind of look at me like, I've been on it, no value." And
mhm, mhm.
it again is a lack of knowledge, and who should know the program better? It should be the folks that are presenting the program. So to answer a couple of your questions, sure, program includes a nationwide warranty. We can talk a little bit about that. I mean, the
Mm,
the big payoff there is so many times we focus on the liability. You have a
right.
warranty, that means there's dollars, that means I'm gonna have to spend money. Our average out of town claim is $1,200, Vic. So
Mm.
instantly a shop is saying, I'm gonna have to pay, write a check for 1,200 if I want to keep that customer. And really so much of it is about how do we make our shops look bigger?
Right. Yeah. And no, that's good. That's a good point. You know, well, you have it. Your perception about our shop years ago
Mhm.
was what?
It's a singular location. It looks great,
Mm,
but it's
mhm,
a singular location. And your biggest customer is not Superior Auto Service down the street or Bob's Automotive down the street. It's some of the big box.
Right.
And again, the bigger you get, the more opportunities you have to do what? To market. How many
Right.
opportunities did Vix Precision have to market? A singular location. It takes a lot of money to get started.
Hmm.
And
It
so
did.
those options are minimal.
Right. You
Having a
know,
nationwide warranty program, all of a sudden, when your customer checks out, you thank them for the business. Every shop does.
right.
And let them know, hey, you got any problems? Come see me. Call me. And I've even got you covered nationwide. And that's all you got to say.
Right.
It's not it's not the liability. It's what is the car owner? How do they feel? Ooh, nationwide.
Right.
So so much of what we do is uh, customer perception.
Mhm.
Customer perception, explaining to our service centers about the nationwide warranty. Our roadside assistance is another fantastic piece.
Mhm.
We think of tow truck driver, and really it's I appreciate you for coming in. I appreciate you, car owner, for taking the opportunity and letting us take care of your car, trusting us to take care of your car as they leave. Normally it's a bill and that's it. And now as they leave, something as quick as taking a snapshot of QR code and they've got a $120 certificate. Thank you. Wait a minute. I show up to shops and I only get a bill. Now I've got something coming back to me. And really it's so much about how do we present it? How does the shop present it? And let's look for the reaction.
Well, and that was what I was going to ask you is I presume with the program is some verbiage because some of the people who like myself who have come up in this industry were not the best communicators. And I recall years ago when I was presenting something to my 20 group and my facilitator nailed me to the wall and he said, "You're offering towing certificates. Does that mean the car is going to break down? You don't have that much faith." And that's, it's funny. And I didn't know how to answer him at that time. And it was to me, it was a big deal. But I presume there's some messaging in there on how to present that because if you don't know how to present it, you're not going to deliver it to the customer. And that enhancement won't be there.
And that's a great point. The initial process was to get all this out, get it recorded.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make a comment on this episode, and it may sound a little bit negative. However, anybody listening to this in our industry is going to agree. Very seldom do we read anything. I've got
No,
it all in print.
right.
It's there. It's on a website. It's on paper. We've got two different types of businesses. Some are electronic, some are paper. It's all there.
Mhm.
The reading. Are you kidding me? And having to go through all that. And so phase one is doing exactly what we're doing today.
Right.
Phase one is putting all the individual components on video, and it's not just the widget. It's how do we present it and the benefits. Who's going to benefit from it? And then phase two. In fact, I've been talking with Tim Cannon over at Internet TV,
Mhm.
and he's going to assist me with that. We got these TVs on the wall in a lot of shops,
Right.
and he's going to assist me. And phase two is recording really more of a car owner base. I keep saying consumer. We got two different consumers, but really it's a car owner base. And if they're there and they're in the lobby, is there a way to put a 15, 20-second blurb out there for the nationwide warranty? Appreciate you. Is there a way to
Mhm.
put a 8, 10-second verbiage out there on roadside assistance? Because it's really that easy.
Right.
But listening and hearing is really where we get our information today.
Yeah, I agree with that because I got to confess, when you guys would send me the service center kit, a lot of times it got shuttled upstairs, put in the storeroom, and never opened.
Oh,
And
well, I got to get the tissue out. You're gonna make me cry,
I'm
but you're
sorry, but
telling
it's
the truth, Vic.
yeah,
And
and I like this format that we're doing. Some people are going to watch it. Some people are going to listen to it. It's easier to listen to something than it is to watch it. And I think you can also convey tone. As you and I were talking, I was thinking, gosh, it'd be kind of a good role play for you and I to be, service advisor and consumer on the how to answer the challenges that we have up here. Because most times the challenges that we have are up in this thing in our head. We fear what could happen, so we don't do it.
And you're spot on, Vic, when you made the comment, "Well, what does this mean? Is my car gonna break down?"
Mhm.
We've gotta be ready, and
Right.
we gotta be able to react to that. "Oh, absolutely not, Vic. This is just our way of saying thank you. This is you wake up in the morning 2, 3, 4, 5 months from now, and you got a flat tire in your driveway. Do you wanna deal with it? Would you like somebody else to deal with it?
Right.
You go to the mall, and by accident, you lock your keys in the car. You wanna deal with it? Or would you like somebody else to come out and help you assist with that? So roadside assistance is really just that. It is the unexpected moments that could happen to you in your busy environment. You have a problem with any repair that we do,
Mhm.
just call me. That's what we're here for.
So what I'm hearing is we should presume our repairs are gonna be okay. Not to say ignore that, but say, "Hey, we've got some benefits for you. Lock your car." I love what you said, "Lock your car out, we're there through a roadside assistance." We're here on the in-between things. When it's not the repair, it's something else. It's just a benefit of doing business with shop X, Y, or Z. And I think part of, what we do as individuals, we focus on the negative because as technicians, we are trained to ignore 99% of what's right and focus on the 1% that's negative. So maybe it's just retraining our brain.
It is. I'm wanting to say it's more getting away from trying to sell a program
Mhm.
and spend a little time on where would I actually use this specific widget? We just talked about the roadside assistance in a couple
Mhm.
examples, the nationwide warranty, in town, come see me. I'm going to take care of you. Out of town, you call me.
Right.
And I've got somebody standing by to take care of your issue and your need out there on the road. Let's see if we can get you into a shop. That could be, something as simple as you were talking about, is there material that helps present this? And yes, there is. There's going to be even more to come. So it really gets down to the root cause of why you were presented a box and it ended up on the counter and then the table behind you and then on the floor. And next thing you know, it's in the shop and two nasty rotors are on it. Vic, I'll tell you this is probably one of my most exciting moments when I'm on a sales call out there in the field across the United States and I walk in, they've been on our program before, or I walk in and they've been on somebody else's program before. I see a little paraphernalia hanging around, in the office, and I'll ask them that either they know why I'm coming. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate your time, Dave, but I didn't see any value,
Right.
and I hear that all the time. Or with the competitors program, hey, curious before we even get into it, what are the top three things you use? You've been on that program quite a while. We answer those questions. What are the top three things you use out of that program every week in a regular week, daily and weekly process within your shop? And it gets very, very quiet. I'm baiting the shop owners. I tell them I just baited you. I knew what the answer was going to be, and then I get very charismatic right then and there in front of them. I'll say, "Okay, what happened?" A sales guy, just like me, came in.
Mhm.
Okay, from one of your parts distributors, and they're waving something in front of you. Hey, hey, look at my program, and
Right.
we go through it in blazing order in about 10 minutes when it really takes probably an hour to
Right.
to realistically go through it, and we happen to hit on a touch of a few key points that the service center owners back of my mind, I've been thinking about that. I had a warranty out of town 6 months ago. It cost me a ton of money. How do I reach out to customers? How do I stay in contact with them? How do I take care of this? All these different little pain points. So all of a sudden the shop signs up. And what do we do as a sales guy? We quickly fill out a piece of paper.
Mhm.
Here, sign it, sign. And I'm doing this. I'm getting all crazy in front of the shop owner.
Right.
And then I take the piece of paper to back up. Hey, look, boss, I got another one. Good job, Dave. And I'm continuing to be very, very charismatic, and then what happens? Now I'm looking at the shop owner again. What happens? 3, 4 weeks later, we show up with the box, the binder, the holy grail, and
Mhm.
I bring it to you, and I fictitiously put it on their counter right in front of them. They're now looking at my hands, this imaginary box, and I look them in the eye. "I'm so excited. This is fantastic. You remember everything we talked about 3, 4 weeks ago? It's in this box, it's in this binder, just pop it open," and I am walking if it's close enough to the front door, I'm walking backwards to the front door. It's gonna change your shop, it's unbelievable, and if the door's pretty close, I'll even walk outside and close it, and I'll stand outside. In the meantime, I get that reaction that you just gave me. I get
Right.
that smile, I get that smirk, I get that laugh. Why? I get 1 chance, Vic. I
Right.
get 1 chance to catch the service center's attention. And so then I walk back in the door, and now I've gained some credibility because it's what happens. People like hearing about the normal process that happens. However, a lot of us don't want to mention it.
Right.
So, have we possibly failed our service centers in presenting and promoting this program? Yes. Has our competition? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to be different than our competition. So I come right back into that service center and said, look, we had the same problem. Everybody's got the same problem. We think our job is done when we present the box and run as fast as we can.
Mhm.
And really what we need is we need a process. If you allow us to, service center owner, we need a process to help you promote the components you would like to promote. There's 35 items in here. No shop does all 35.
Right.
Then I've kind of made it my own little tool of an implementation sheet, and I quickly show the service center, this is the process we go through. If we go through this presentation and you say yes, the very thing I'm gonna say is, "Appreciate it, I'll get you signed up." Number 2, I'm gonna say is, "Why?"
Mhm.
When's the best time to ask our service center owners why they committed to a program? The moment we had a chance to present it to them. Then I need to jot it down because my memory doesn't always match up to what I need to do every day. And so I write it all down.
Right.
Service center gets a copy, I get a copy, and we explain to each other. Well, let's set ground rules. Oh my gosh, you have a commitment and you would like to implement 9 different items. My job is to help you. I want to set a ground rule. Only one item every visit. It gives me time to really go back and research, come in. You've got a lot going on here. We will get what's your number one item? Okay, you wanted the 6 months deferred interest financing. We will get that handled, set up, who to call, what to do, how to make it happen, and give you a couple weeks to get used to it. Then how about if we come back then 2 weeks later and do item number 2? Let's do a regular pattern. Does that work for you? And the response I get every time is, well, yeah, because normally we do what? We do informational dump. And then
Yeah.
what happens is year number 2, we get that proverbial no value.
Mhm. Well, I gotta share this with you because I was talking to one of my clients. He's in Lancaster, PA, and he he said, "I keep hearing you talk about a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty that I have. I don't have it."
Oops.
I'm like, "Yes, you do." And he's like, "No, I" expletive, "don't." I'm like, "You are a platinum smart choice service center." "Yeah." I get the pause. "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." And I take him to the website. I take him to your website, and I go, "You see that shield right there? What does it say?" And he goes, "Well, my salesman didn't say that. He said we only have a 12-12 local." I'm like, and I think this is what I want to share with the reps is your people trust you. Like David, I trusted you and I trusted the sales team when they said, "We want you to be on the Spartan Smart Choice program." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And one I heard a shop owner say this one day. He goes, "We're going to sign up for stuff and we're going to join the club. And a lot of times we don't know what it is." And the trust that a sales rep has with their shop owner, it's relational, right? I mean, look at you and I, 26 years now. It's a long time, depending on which side of the screen you're on right now. Well, his rep did not know the program well enough to convey to him something that I've been conveying to him for 2 years. And the way I look at this, the rep missed the boat because here's what he said to me. He goes, this is the shop owner said this to me. He goes, I was getting ready to not renew this thing. I'm like, why? He goes, it's got no benefit. I'm like, until you just shared that with me. And I went on down the list of other things. I said, you have this and this and this. I said, you got 35 things. I've watched you, David, build this program and enhance it and continually grow it to where it's a key component of value. But unfortunately, there's a communication breakdown. And the onus is as much on the shop owner as it is you or me or the rep. Everyone's got a part to play, but there needs to be communication.
There needs to be knowledge so there can be communication.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me that if a salesperson is asked to sell a widget and they don't know anything about that widget, how often are they going to even bring it up?
They
They're
won't bring
not.
it up.
It's just normal how everybody thinks. You want to be knowledgeable, and if you don't have the knowledge, then you just move on to something else that you do have knowledge on. And so that's where it gets back to how do we make this a little bit more doable
Mhm.
for our boots on the street, for our sales teams out there? They're being asked, pushed, yanked in 32 different directions every day.
Yeah.
And it's just the world that they live in. And it gets, and it's just go. S- Sam's Automotive is upset about delivery time. Fred's Auto Repair, he's got some kind of a defect issue going on over there. Mike's, you got to go talk to Mike's.
Right.
He's a little bit behind on his pay, and so we focus sometimes task driven
Mhm.
instead of future performance driven.
You
And
know, you said something that made me smile. I don't know if you saw it. They're firemen.
yep,
This is what we deal with clients when we bring them on. They're so used to putting out fires that they have no time to rebuild or grow. And in your world, I don't know how to help you, but I can tell you this with when we get them to slow down and we get them to analyze and look at things and be intentional about the next step. Knowing what to say no to is actually more powerful than knowing what to say yes to. Uh, I have a massive compassion for these guys. So you're right; they get pulled in tons of directions. Uh, Shop owners can be notoriously crabby because we have customers that are. Yeah,
get out of here.
I know.
It
Not.
depends on the day, and it is so unique in a service center environment.
Mhm.
There's some good average days out there, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, you've got that day where it's just, when is it going to stop? One
No, I know.
weird issue, challenge, item at a time, and, I just hope it's not me that's holding up a delivery for you.
Hey, I've had those days. Give me a can of gasoline and a match. That makes a really great fire. It's it it. You're right. When is it gonna stop? This is what goes back to the rep knowing that, hey, I care about the shops I do business with. It's just like auto repair shops. There's a few auto repair shops that give this industry a bad name. I'm certain the same thing as occurs in the sales rep because I had more diamonds than I had turds when I bought from my parts distributor. There were a few bad ones, but you can't let that define. And the same token, those good ones that are listening is you care about your shop owner. What are the solutions that you need to bring? What will help them build the business? We had Ray Lopez on, a couple months ago. You can tell he loves his clients. He wants to bring solutions. And, when you look at the and when I say when I look at the service center program, I see solutions to so many problems. Like you said, nationwide. If you were to ask any shop owner in what have you reaches of the country, are who is not affiliated with a blue and gold label, are you part of a larger car care center program? And they go, no. But if they're part of the Parts Plus and the Pronto Smart Choice program, they are. They're part of a larger network. How many reps know that? And
You're
will
right,
lean into
and
that.
it's because sometimes we're so compartmentalized, there's
Mhm,
several things there, one, I have phone calls. I'll get an individual rep that is struggling with some of the details,
mhm,
or it's a situation of a possible warranty that went wrong, or a warranty went wrong 6 months ago. Now we're trying to get them to renew, and the shop saying, "Hey, this didn't work."
mhm,
And, what is warranty, what's not. So that it's probably at least once a week. I'm on a camera with a salesperson and the service center explaining the warranty and getting those aha moments out
mhm,
there. And
mhm.
so it goes once more, if we're comfortable and confident with the content, then chances are it's gonna be a lot easier. It's gonna be easier for me, I guarantee you that. It's
Right,
gonna be easier for the salesperson and less frustration for the service center.
right.
So one of the things, again, I'm so focused on is being able to chop it up into tiny little pieces,
Yeah.
allowing them to, you know, get it to adhere into their brain. Few teaser questions right afterwards. They do have a final exam at the end. So this is not just a watch it, click and go do
Mhm.
something else. They're going to have to pay attention. And when they get done, I'm going to reward them. Tons
Right.
of points with, new points program. It's a great way to launch it. I get to be the first person and the first piece of content to launch it. So we have a lot going on. You also mentioned Ray Lopez. I wanted to just tell you real quick, hadn't even had a chance to tell you, much less our entire audience, with the passion. You've seen the passion that Ray
Mhm.
Lopez has.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is going, he's fired up. He used to work with me years and years ago. He's always had that infectious positive attitude out there.
Right.
He did, for a period of time, had to make a change
Mhm.
and went to the competition. He did spend a ton of time working on their service center program.
Mhm.
And then he kind of found his calling. He's like, man, this is great because the same thing was happening across the pond where there was a lot of sales guys that didn't feel comfortable with the details.
Right.
So now Ray comes back and he's back in the Houston area and, wanting the opportunity to expand the banner program. And it took a little bit of time, but he has now just been promoted. And
Nice.
his number one responsibility is now to promote the Pronto and Parts Plus Service Center program across all areas of his distributor out there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you're gonna see a lot going on, and that's gonna
Mhm.
be an awesome opportunity to be able to share the growth that's taking place and be able to share the not just the growth of, we're not looking for members. What we're looking for is the pain points, and will our program help support that individual service center? We know every time you look at numbers today and you look at numbers 12 months from now, those service centers that are heavily engaged in the program, which
Mhm.
means we've got to support them, but when they're heavily engaged in the program, the sales numbers go up dramatically. I
Right.
think some of it goes up because their business grows, and I think some of it goes up because we become a business partner with them. And so some
Right.
of that business may move from the competition over to us. Every salesperson, their compensation is somehow driven by sales
Right.
and sales increases. Yeah, a bunch of it may be, may be salary, and some of it may be a monthly bonus or commission, whatever you want to call it. But bottom line, if I'm working for any wholesaler out there within the Pronto network, and every month in and month out, I'm experiencing a 10% decrease, you know what? Compensation's going to get a little slim after a while, and it might get all the way down to zero when they
Right.
promote me to the competition.
Right. Well, you mentioned compensation. Shop owners in this whole equation for the most part, in most repair shops, the only one that's typically on 100% commission is the shop owner. And the shop owner should be looking to his sales rep to say, how can you help me to sell more? And vice versa. If you think about, if the shop owner sells more, his compensation goes up. If the shop owner sells more, the sales rep compensation goes up. The WDs go up. Everybody's happy when the numbers start going up. And I believe a service center program positioned properly with the right benefits, for whatever customer walks through the door, because some customers aren't going to care about a 336 nationwide warranty because they don't leave the neck of the woods. But maybe the roadside assistance might appeal to them. Or maybe the 6-month no interest financing might appeal to them. Part of the shop owner's duty is to know what it is that's in the program. Two, what benefits each one's going to need. Just like our clients, every client is a little bit different. What we do is in a coaching, as a coaching company, we don't have cookie cutter. There's coaching companies, it's very regimented, it's very cookie cutter. Ours is very custom, just like this program. It's very custom. And if the shop owner can lean into it, see what it has, and then ask himself, what do my clients value? And then train the advisors on that just as well. Sounds like whole lot of training going on here.
Whole lot of training, whole lot of communication. And I really want to step back. One comment you made
Mhm.
that I just want to make sure that we hear it a second time. You made mention the number one person in this food chain that's 100% commission is the shop owner.
Mhm.
So let's step back. Okay. So I got a technician. He's doing flag time, whatever time he's doing.
Mhm.
Payroll comes once a week. He gets paid.
Yeah.
The GS, he gets paid. The porter, he gets paid. You can start going right down. The service advisor, he gets paid. All those people get paid. If the shop is running thin, very thin on any kind of cash flow,
Mhm.
the one person who's not going to get a paycheck that week is going to be the shop owner.
Mhm.
And that's just the way it is when you own a business. Now, when the business is flurry and it's really going good and things are happening, there's not only a paycheck for the shop owner, but there's going to be additional money sitting on the net income line. You're
Right.
right. He stuck his neck out for that.
Yeah.
And so I think we forget that. And not just automotive, it could be the guy that owns a landscape company or a plumbing company, or whatever the case may be. But those people, especially in the early years,
Oh
really have
gosh.
to stick their neck out, and it's going to be beans and rice
Yeah.
for
Uh,
quite a while. So I appreciate you bringing that up because that is a shout out. I mean, it takes guts.
it does. Well, I got to share this with you, and I don't know if I ever had. We went through a really, really lean period here, and I started the business. Marlene was still working, but we couldn't make our house payment. So we had a choice: keep the house, keep the car, keep the business. You can keep two. We chose to let the house go. And you're right, it's thin. Especially in those early days, boy, is it thin. But you take great risk, come great reward. Now, this is the challenge many shop owners have is, and we may save this one for another point, but another time, is profit. With with great risk comes great reward, and with great risk comes great profit. And they should see it. Not that they're quote entitled to it, but they've earned it. They took the risk of it. It's like taking a risky bet on the Super Bowl. And you're going to get a great reward if you take a big risky bet. And I have a real compassion for shop owners who burn the midnight oil, barely bring an income home, paying their people before they pay themselves. There's a whole strategy behind this. What happens is, truthfully, you begin to resent the business. I've done it. I was like, just got angry at it. And you don't give it your best. And you start this whole thing all over again. So the shop owners that are out there, it's like, yeah, we have a massive compassion on you. We want to help you. We want to see you and your business grow. That's the point of this episode today.
Absolutely. And it's to try and maybe put this in perspective for anybody who's not ran their own business. Think about when you get your paycheck. Okay, well, there it is every 2 weeks. Here it
Mhm.
is. So then you go home and you gotta pay your cell phone bill, and you
Right.
gotta pay your electricity, you gotta pay the mortgage, your rent, whatever you wanna call it. Oh, got a car payment, got the insurance for the car payment, got the insurance for the phone. Here we go again with all these different things. So even a person sometimes who's never run a business can kind of feel the same thing. Man, I'm going in and I'm working and I'm working and I'm working and I get this paycheck I don't know if you've ever heard the acronym JOB,
Mm-mm. No, I haven't.
especially a lot of times, not when you're real young, because when you're real young, it requires nothing to live.
Right.
But right when all of a sudden you're taking on some responsibilities, like maybe a house or an apartment or a car and all those kinds of things, that's where it gets real tight.
Mhm.
And so you're working as an employee, and you got all this, and sometimes a job can be just over broke.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so, from a personal perspective, could we maybe feel a smidgen of what a business owner goes through on a bigger scale? Yeah, I'm sick
Mhm.
and tired and sick and tired, and I'm paying everybody else, and then I'm eating the beans and rice, you know? So
Yeah.
I think you can work on both avenues. The risk is definitely a lot bigger and a lot larger when you're doing a business. If all of a sudden I get to where this isn't working out, I can go shopping and go find another job. And
Right.
the mission would be, okay, now what am I doing? I'm going to find another job for what? A little bit more money. And I'm missing the point.
Right.
You gotta be in a job where you appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
You love what you're doing.
Right.
It excites you to get up every morning. If I have to go find a job, for another $10, I'm not solving my problems, that's
No.
for sure. So,
No.
and I know we got a little bit off track here, but really, Vic, I'm excited for 2026. I think we've got tools in place to simplify the salesperson's life, simplify the sales manager's life,
Yeah. Yeah.
their marketing person at these warehouse distributors definitely gain some respect from the service center owners if we are more comfortable with what we're presenting and being able to have the information available to us, or even have enough to say, okay, I get what you're saying. Let me go do a little research. And can I get back to you in a day or two? I don't think there's a single person out there that would not appreciate that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, great. Now we got to get back to them a day or two. It's going to make my life easier. It's going to make several people here who answer the phone's life a lot easier. And ultimately, I'm hoping it absolutely reduces stress, allows us to constantly work a little bit smarter instead of harder. So I think we got. I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm so in fact so close to launching this, and we wanted everything to be 100% automated. And I can't wait for IT. They're doing everything they can, but
Nice.
it's three different. It's a reward system, it's a training system, it's our own database, and so, even if it takes a little bit more time, if I've gotta get out, well, nobody knows what a Big Chief tablet is anymore, but even if I gotta get out a piece of paper and write this stuff down or do it in a spreadsheet,
Right.
I'm gonna do it because the payoff is gonna be so astronomical on a multitude of fronts, and communication will not start until we feel comfortable with the knowledge up here in our little hard drives between our ears.
Right. What I'm hearing is commitment from the distribution channel. We need sales reps to have just the same level of commitment, and we need shop owners to have commitment of transparency and say, I don't know exactly what I need, or this is what I'm thinking I need. Help me get better. Because when it comes right down to it, this is what I see. This is a true partnership and it's very symbiotic. The better we all work together, the better our whole lives will be, and the better things will become in general.
Absolutely. It always boils down to knowledge is
Mhm.
key, knowledge is power.
Right.
And, you can look at that a multitude of different ways. When I say knowledge is power, power, to have that knowledge and feel confident overcomes stress, overcomes fear.
Mm.
And, you know, nobody likes to be in those situations when you have the stress and you have the fear and you have the unknown. That's the big one right
Oh
there.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when we can brighten our day with a little bit of knowledge, and it's something that you spend just a little bit of time to relieve stress for months,
Mm.
years.
Hmm.
I think we're onto something, Vic. I really do.
Yeah. I do too. Well, David, thank you for a enlightening episode of Driven to Success, and thank you for being alongside me today.
I appreciate you as well, Vic. It's this is fun, and really our mission is what can drive you to success,
That's it.
and it keeps coming back to some of the same things. If you notice that,
Communication. What I hear is a very common theme.
yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, until next time, we thank everyone out there. If you like what you're listening to, send it to a friend. Like us, subscribe to us. We'll see you on the next episode of Driven to Success. Thanks for listening to Driven Success. If this episode has helped you see how to turn what's included into real customer value, share it with a shop owner or a sales rep. What's next? Well, David and I hit the road and we head to Vision High Tech Expo and the Tectonic Auto Repair Conference. We'll be bringing you the tools, the trends, and the training opportunities to help you present with more confidence and run your business smarter. We've also got some special guests lined up, so make sure you follow the show and don't miss the insights that could make that critical difference in your operation. Until next time, I'm Vic Tarasic for David Wofford, and this is Driven to Success.